Hi, it's Dave Curlin, and this is my rant of the day. Discounting. Stop. What benefit is there to discount? All you do is devalue you, your company, your products, and your services, and set precedent so that the next salesperson who comes in behind you and discounts it even more gets the business. You don't want the business that you get from discounting. That's the customer that's going to leave you just as quick for another better price. I'm going to tell you a story about my stonemason. My stonemason died, but before he died, we had him for 25 years. I remember our very first house back in the early 90s, literally 30 years ago. My wife wanted to do this project, and she got references and introduced to the best stonemason in the county. And he was an older Italian guy right off the boat with a stellar reputation. And he came to the house, and he didn't bring a tape measure. He didn't bring a calculator. He didn't have a computer. All he had was his right leg and his work boot. And he dragged his right leg, made it look like he was limping. And he outlined the area where the stone wall would go. And then he said, okay, I got it. And my wife said, Guy, how much is this going to cost? And he says, $40,000. And I was like, $40,000. Remember, this was 30 years ago. I hadn't made it yet. That was a king's ransom 30 years ago. And he says, yeah. I said, really? $40,000 for a wall? He says, no wall. I said, and my wife said, can't you do better? He says, better? What better? She says, can you do it for less? He says, my English is not so good. What you mean less? A shorter wall? She says, no, a discount. A discount? What's discount? She says, no, lower price. You want a lower wall? And so he just pretended not to get it. So we just chalked it up to can't really communicate. He doesn't understand what we want, but we wanted him to build the wall. And he did do the nicest wall. You know, it was drywall. Everything went together like a puzzle. The joints were incredibly tight. You didn't see any mortar. He was the guy. And like I said, we continued to use him for 25 years. And I had to call him at home one day. So I rang his phone, and on the other end, someone said, hello. And I said, is Guy there? And he said, this is Guy. I said, Guy, it's Dave Curl. Dave, how you doing? The accent was totally made up. He spoke English the way I spoke English, but the accent got heavier and the language barrier got worse whenever it was time to talk about price. But he knew he couldn't lower his price because it would devalue him and his work and his legacy and his future business. He knew that if we hired him to build our wall, we'd be using him to build our walls forever because no one could build walls like he could. Moral of the story, don't even think about discounting. You can't. Don't even give your prospect the slightest hope that you can have a lower price. You can't. If you even give them hope, if you even suggest you'll try, that's their expectation. Then you won't be able to meet their expectation. And that's when your price is going to be too high. When you can't come down, when you can't come down enough, don't discount. Rant over. Dave out.